Wireless service providers often focus on ensuring uptime and reducing lag time, sometimes compromising security. This can allow attackers to exploit vulnerabilities, steal data, and disrupt services. Mobile devices, particularly those using 5G technologies, are vulnerable to data theft and denial of service attacks. At Black Hat 2024 in Las Vegas, a team of 7 researchers from Penn State University will demonstrate how hackers can not only intercept your internet traffic, but also provide your internet connection, enabling them to spy, phish, and more. This attack is alarmingly accessible, exploiting overlooked vulnerabilities and using equipment that can be bought online for a few $100s. Step 1. Set up a fake base station. When a mobile device attempts to connect to a network base station, it undergoes an authentication and key agreement, aka process. The device sends a registration request, and the base station responds with authentication and security check requests. However, while the station verifies the phone does not verify the station, assuming its legitimacy. Base stations announce their presence by broadcasting hello messages every 20 or 40 minutes, which lack authentication or security mechanisms, explains Syed Mukit Rashid, a research assistant at Penn State. These messages are plain text, so a device cannot verify if they come from a legitimate tower. Setting up a fake tower is easier than it might seem. Using a Raspberry Pi or a software-defined radio, SDR, which can be purchased online, one can mimic a real base station. SDRs can be bought for a few $100s, says Kai Tu, another Penn State research assistant. Even though some SDRs are expensive, cheaper ones can still effectively mimic a base station. A small device can potentially lure your phone away from a commercial tower. An SDR located nearby can provide a stronger 5G signal than a tower serving thousands of people. Devices naturally connect to the cell towers with the highest signal strength, Rashid notes. Step 2. Exploit a vulnerability. The AKA process, like any security measure, can be exploited. For example, the researchers identified a mishandled security header in the 5G modem of a popular mobile processor, allowing attackers to bypass the AKA process. This processor is used in many devices by 2 major smartphone manufacturers, whose names remain confidential. Once a targeted device is attracted, an attacker can bypass the AKA process, send a registration-accepted message, and establish a connection. At this point, the attacker essentially becomes the victim's internet service provider, able to view all unencrypted web activity and potentially engage in further attacks, such as spear phishing or redirecting the victim to malicious sites. Besides the AKA bypass, the researchers found other vulnerabilities that could allow attackers to determine a device's location or perform denial of service, DOS attacks. Securing 5G. The Penn State researchers have reported all discovered vulnerabilities to the relevant mobile vendors, who have since deployed patches to address these security issues.